Hey, good morning, ROCKPOINT Church. It is Pastor Daniel coming at you with today's daily devotional out of Matthew chapter 26. So we've been looking on Sunday mornings of the final moments of Jesus' life in the upper room with his disciples and the final conversation and charge that he gives all of the disciples before he knows he's going to the cross. And so at the very end of Matthew 26, he leads his disciples out into the garden moments before he's going to be taken away. And this really, really powerful scene unfolds in verse 36. It says, "Then Jesus went with them to the olive grove called Gethsemane, and he sat down. And he said, 'Sit here with me a while I go over there to pray.' And he took Peter and Zebedee's two sons, James and John, and he became anguished and distressed. And he told them, 'My soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me.' And he went on a little farther, and he bowed his face to the ground, and he started praying. He said, 'My Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering pass and be taken from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine.' And then he returned to the disciples, and he found them asleep. He said to Peter, 'Couldn't you keep watch even with me 1 hour? Keep watch and pray so that you will not give in to temptation. For the spirit is willing, but the body is weak.'" And so in Jesus' greatest moment of anguish, his kind of final words and dying prayers to the disciples to just be with him, just spend these final moments with him. And it's this really powerful scene where Jesus is in anguish, and we see him experiencing things we don't see him experiencing at any other time in the New Testament. And yet in that moment, in his moment of greatest need, his disciples fall asleep. And if you keep reading the story, you'll see they don't just fall asleep once. Jesus wakes them up and then goes back to them, and they're sleeping again. And it's really this picture of what happens to you and I so often in our flesh and in our humanity. What Jesus says right there, I think, is the key. He says, your spirit is willing, but your flesh is weak. And I just wanted to remind you, as we make our final press into Palm Sunday and we get ready for Easter, that we would remember that we worship a God who is sufficient even when we are weak. We worship a God who is enough even when we fail. And failure does not define us. Failure is not a person. It is an event. And Jesus redeems all of that. And what he did on the cross paid the penalty for Peter's mistakes and for the disciples' shortcomings, just as he does for us. And so my encouragement, my prayer for each of you is that whatever it is you feel like is holding you back this morning, that you would remember that the cross is sufficient. And even when our flesh fails, our spirit is willing. So I'm praying for you. I'm hoping that you have an incredible Easter Sunday. So we'll see you soon.